here with Half Dozen Customs. We're back out here on the Monte Carlo for a little Monte Monday action. We left off last week with doing a little heat treating in this area. Now, we sprayed this down with that chemical, and you can see that where we heated it up and water cooled it, you can see that our rust came back. Some of the areas where, like, we treated this before we put the patch in on the bottom, so that patch is rusting down there. But for the most part, this fender stayed really clean everywhere that chemical was. So I've also done the project in the back with that, and we did it roughly right around the same time, and I don't have anything on that. So I think that chemical is a winner for keeping the bare metal from rusting while you're working on it. Now we'll get this cleaned up again, but we need to try and work some of this dent out a little bit more. I told you that we needed to go through the front here and push from the back, so that's where we're gonna start. There's a dent here that we can pull with the pin pull. Top of the fender up there where we had welded up all the holes from somebody previously pulling a dent needs to be pin pulled. So we're gonna do that. And then this lower corner edge here, both sides are like that. I think it's a factory thing. It's a factory thing where the fender looks like it's dented in on the bottom. Now this had a chrome cladding, chrome trim piece that went along the bottom that looked like it was straight. So I think that the curve in the fender, being that it's on both sides identical, I think is a factory thing in this fender. But I want to run it through the shrinker and try and see if we can get that to straighten out a little bit with the shrinker. Now, I had talked to Colleen, told her that I was going to need her help to do that. It is Monday, she's at work, we are here by ourselves. We may attempt to try and do this by ourselves. Maybe we'll set a sawhorse up to set the back end of the fender on while we work with the front. Hopefully that'll work out for us. But let's, like I said, so there was the 3 welds from this emblem that was here, and we heat treated these front 2, and we were able to get to the back side with a hammer. So we were able to heat and treat it and then hammer and dolly it, and the dents are gone here. But back here where this 3rd hole was, if you haven't been here before, somebody had dented this fender in so that they could put a coat of filler where the emblem was and shave the emblem. Now, we took all that filler out and we welded up the holes, but there were still the dents in it that somebody else put in there. So now we're trying to get those dents back out. So we can look on the back and we can see where our weld was. I can go through and push where this dent was. And I got the hammer, we can put some pressure on it. Much better. Let's go to the bottom of that a little bit. Much better. I mean, I can still feel it a little bit, but before it was a good sized dent. And now we don't have that. So much happier with that. Much happier. Okay, so now that we got that dent knocked out pretty well, before we pull the fender off to work on this bottom edge here, we're gonna do some pin pulling. So let me get the pin pulling set up over here, and we'll be right back. And then we're just gonna do like one pin here, and it'll probably be like 3 or 4 pins up there, and then we're good. And then I think at that point, maybe we'll clean up. We'll clean this fender back up. We'll spray that chemical on there, wipe it down, and then we can pop this fender back off and see if we can set up something for us to be able to shrink this here. And then once we get that done, this guy's ready for sandblasting. I don't know if we're gonna sandblast this morning. Maybe. I'm thinking that once we get this fender to where we're ready to sandblast it, I think we're gonna pull that other fender off, and we're gonna go through and start fixing the last few things that I didn't do before we sealed it, which is weld up the holes in the wheel well from the old chrome trim, and then there is a couple of spots where there was some rot that we need to either weld up or cut out and repair. So I'm thinking that we'll get that fender done before we get this one sealed, so that way we can, because we'll go back and we'll seal the couple of spots that we did the work on, and then that way both fenders are done and sealed and all that good stuff. So let me get the pin pulling stuff and we'll be right back. So got a little dent there. Let's get him out of there. Do another one up at the top by the body line there. Alright, so next one is up here. It's not stupid bug. It's not horrible, but there is a dent there that I think we can get rid of. So I have to go back and look at the last few weeks of videos, but I think we pulled this already. I don't think that we pulled it enough. Alright, let's clean up our mess over here so that we're not spraying this chemical on there, and we'll go through and we'll clean up these couple of rust spots just because I love using that chemical. It's my new best friend. And then, like I said, we'll pull this fender off, and we'll try and get it set up to shrink this lower edge, and I'll try and get a decent video of what I'm talking about with how the fender looks like it's all caved in there, but yeah, we shall return. Alright, I'm just going to clean up these couple of spots here. Alright, much better. Yeah. Much better. Okay, now let's see if we can get this lower thing straightened out. That's bugging me. In fact, I'm gonna go wash my hands, get this stuff off me. Okay, we're close here. Hopefully we can make this work. I may have to stick some 2x4s underneath here to kind of tilt this back. But here's what I'm looking at. So can you guys see? Can you see how there's a curve in that? I know I'm shaking real bad, but there's a really bad curve right in here. It curves like this. So, and both fenders do it. It's on both sides. So this one has it too. But I think this side might be a little bit worse. But what I want to try and do is I want to try and shrink this edge here and see if we can get this to pop out. So I'm gonna grab some 2x4s to pop down underneath this, and let's see if we can get this to work. Start off with 2. I don't think that this is going to work without Colleen's help. I actually think there's a brace in here that's stopping me from getting where I want to get. Yeah, we're hitting that brace. It's stopping me. You know, if we were able to flip the fender the other way and put it in here. I don't know. Woo! Okay, let me pop you guys out here. I don't know what you guys got to catch or not. That worked awesome. I think we still need, a little bit more right here. And I think the reason I didn't want to do it right there is because there's a weld right there. There's a weld from the chrome trim that we welded up. But man, that looks so much better. Let me try one more time. Oh, so that was kind of tough to get up in there, but much better. So it does look like it has a little bit too much in this area, so what we'll do is we'll grab the hammer and dolly. So a little bit much right here. So sorry I say so much, but and we just did, you know, just a hair too much here, but we can. Beautiful. So what we did, you can see these little wrinkles in here that shrinker puts in there. And what I did here, where I thought there was a bit too much, was I just hammered that wrinkle back out, and that straightened it right back out. So much better. I'm so much happier with that. That looks great. Now, I might as well pull the other fender off and do that side while I have this set up like this. Whew. It's a little warm out here. It's getting warm out. Super humid too. I think there's, Colleen said that there's some storms coming in, so took a little bit to figure out which way I had to go and get this to work, but we got it in there. I was able to do it by myself, and I'm super happy with that. So what I'm gonna do is, for right now, I'm gonna set this fender back on over there, and I'm gonna get this fender off, and we'll do the same thing to the fender. So when I get this fender over here ready to go, we'll be back. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.